Welcome to Stephen FM AI, Ireland's Daily Digest. Today we're doing something a little different. We are pulling back the curtain and deconstructing a masterclass in storytelling. We're going to look at a narrative blueprint that takes 5 seemingly random Irish news stories and weaves them into one single powerful argument. Let's break down how it's done. So, the blueprint starts with a real punch to the gut. No context, no introduction. Just these 3 chilling words that drop you right into the middle of the tension. It immediately makes you ask, who are they talking about? And what in the world did they do to deserve that?
But before you can even wrap your head around that threat, bam, it pivots. The blueprint just throws this absolutely staggering number on the screen, 2.5 billion euros. The sheer scale is immense, and it yanks your focus from one person's danger to a massive national cost. That whiplash you're feeling? That's totally intentional.
And then, to really complete the hook, it just leaps 20 years into the future. And it lands on one of the biggest, most fundamental questions facing the island. So in just 3 slides, the blueprint has set the stakes. We're talking life and death, we're talking unbelievable amounts of money, and we're talking about the very future of the nation. I mean, talk about grabbing your attention. So how on earth does it pull all these different threads together? Well, the core strategy here is something we can call a thematic montage. See, it doesn't just list the news headlines. Nope. It carefully arranges the stories to build an argument, turning what could be a simple roundup into this really compelling State of the Nation address. The blueprint organizes the news into these 5 distinct acts. And you'll notice it's not chronological at all. It's all about emotion. It kicks off in the past, jumps to the future, grounds us right here in the present, then calculates the cost of failure. And you know what? It ends with a story of a cultural comeback. Every single step is designed to build on the last one for maximum impact.
All right, let's see how this actually builds, starting with Act 1, a past that, well, still haunts the present. And this is where that dead man walking quote finally gets its context.
So the story is all about Mark Haddock. He's a former UVF commander and a high-level police informer, and he was just released from prison after 12 years. The blueprint uses this incredibly stark quote from loyalist sources to anchor the whole section. It's just a visceral gut-punch reminder that for some people, the troubles never really ended.
And right here, the blueprint just lays out the central tension perfectly. Haddock is basically caught in this impossible limbo. On one hand, you have the state trying to protect him, give him a new identity. And on the other, the paramilitary world he came from has issued a death sentence. It's a really powerful way to show how the conflicts of the past are still very, very much alive today. Now, from those deep, dark shadows of the past, the narrative blueprint makes this incredibly dramatic pivot. It jumps from a story about one man's fate to a controversial, ambitious vision for the entire island's future. It's a huge shift.
The news hook here is the former Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon's bold prediction, which he made in Belfast, that Irish unification could actually happen within 2 decades. This timeline does a great job of framing the debate, moving it from some vague, far-off possibility to a tangible, generational project.
But look at what the blueprint does next. This is the clever part. It doesn't just leave us with that exciting headline. No, it includes Sturgeon's crucial warning. By emphasizing the need for very detailed planning, it connects that huge vision for the future right back to the messy, complicated realities of today. And that brings us to Act 3. So we've looked at the past, we've looked at the future, and now the blueprint grounds the narrative squarely in the immediate present, showing how power, politics, and people are all interacting right this very minute. This next story is all about a conflict over this number, £16.5 million. That's the extra bill the government tried to hit Northern Ireland's hospitality sector with, a bill that a lot of businesses said would basically be a death sentence for them. So, the whole reason for including this story is to show that people have real power. After a massive public outcry, the government did a complete U-turn. The blueprint uses this to make a powerful point. While all these grand constitutional debates are going on, it's local, direct political action that's shaping people's lives and livelihoods today. All right, next up, the blueprint connects the theme of past failures with these enormous present-day costs. This is a story of a massive financial reckoning for the Celtic Tiger era, that period of rapid and often poorly regulated construction. And there it is again. Remember that number from the hook? 2.5 billion euros? This is the staggering, mind-boggling estimated cost to the Irish taxpayer for a scheme to fix dangerous defects in up to 100,000 apartments built during those boom years. And the blueprint uses this visual to just hammer home the sheer scale of the crisis. I mean, look at that. This isn't about a few bad buildings here and there. We are talking about an entire generation of construction, with up to 80% of apartments from that era estimated to have significant defects. It's wild.
And here it is. This is the core injustice of the narrative, the point the blueprint drives home with this really powerful quote. The public is footing a multi-billion-euro bill to fix these dangerous homes, while the developers who built them, they're allowed to just walk away with no repercussions at all. It's a story about cost, for sure, but really it's about accountability. Okay, for the final story, the blueprint shifts tone completely. After all the heavy stuff, all the politics and the finance, it ends with a story of personal and cultural resilience. It's a high-energy, forward-looking note to close out this section on.
So the final piece of the puzzle is the story of Michael Flatley's court victory. It really serves as a narrative finale, a big, high-profile comeback for one of Ireland's most famous cultural exports. So why include this? Well, because after stories of division and costly mistakes, the blueprint needed a moment of just clear, unambiguous triumph to suggest, hey, there's a path forward.
And this right here is the crucial final step. The blueprint doesn't just end with 5 stories and call it a day. It synthesizes them. It explicitly shows you how these separate events all connect into one larger national story. This is where the magic happens.
The blueprint just asks the question directly. It forces you, the audience, to see the links. That €2.5 billion apartment bill isn't just a number. It's a huge flashing warning sign about how important it is to get the very detailed planning right for something as massive as a united Ireland. The past is literally costing the present, even as the future is being debated.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it's actually pretty simple. The structure is the message. By arranging stories by theme, past, future, present, cost, and culture, the blueprint creates this incredibly powerful analysis of a nation that's sort of caught between its history and its future. Which really just leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This blueprint shows that just by changing the order and the context, you can reveal a much deeper story. And it forces us to ask, how does the way we consume news every day shape our understanding of the world? And what other powerful connections are just hiding there in plain sight, waiting for someone to connect the dots? And that's the latest from Stephen FM AI, Ireland's Daily Digest.